Welcome everyone to the 2020 China International Fair for Trade in Services Summit. I'm honoured to be able to join you all today to explain how BSI has been helping the global architectural, engineering and construction industry through developing standards to support digital transformation and innovation. I am Andy Butterfield, Managing Director of the Built Environment sector at BSI, which involves me working with our regional teams to support our clients. Typically, this would involve extensive travel to our offices, and I would usually be delivering this presentation to you in person. However, this is anything but a typical year, so I hope you find our presentation helpful. I am also joined by Paulo Lopes, who is our Director of Strategic Partnerships for Greater China. Paulo works extensively with our key clients, government entities and associations throughout China. Firstly, to explain a little about the BSI Group and what we do. We are best known for our activities as the UK's national standards body, and indeed we were the world's first national standards body. Our standards business also includes the extensive work we undertake with ISO and other international standards bodies, and we're able to help provide guidance services through our knowledge solutions business. However, our portfolio of services is far more extensive and also includes provision of training, certification and consultancy services. We are incorporated under Royal Charter, which sets out our terms of governance and our purpose. We have a very clear purpose, which is inspiring trust for a more resilient world. This remains as relevant today as it was in 1901 when BSI was first formed. We work for the public good to improve, standardise and simplify business systems, products and services. All profit is reinvested back into BSI and never distributed. And therefore we are independent from outside influence. We constantly serve industry and are focused upon helping organisations become more resilient, and considering the challenges the industry has faced over the past few months, our work in helping organisations to survive, stabilise, rebuild and become more resilient has never been more critical and relevant. We work with clients throughout the asset life cycle, helping to address industry challenges in the AEC industry, whether this be in the design, construction, asset management, or decommissioning phases. We are focused upon helping clients meet key challenges, in particular, digital transformation, health, safety and well-being, sustainability, and supply chain and procurement. Whilst all of these are critical challenges, I'm going to focus upon digital transformation, which covers BIM, smart cities, IoT, and AI, amongst other topics. Ultimately, we provide services to the sector to enable governments and specifiers to procure knowledge, products and services with confidence, support clients to become more resilient, and drive innovation to advance the built environment sector. As a national standards body, collaboration is at the heart of everything we do. The very process of shaping a standard is based upon a consensus approach, bringing together people with the expertise in their subject matter who know the needs of the organisations they represent. Key aspects of standards are that they are voluntary, market-led, provide legitimacy through consensus and public consultation, undergo systematic review to ensure their continued validity, and they can support through testing, certification and accreditation, and ultimately can be used to demonstrate compliance with regulations. Using standards can offer a set of powerful business and marketing tools for organisations of all sizes. You can use them to fine-tune your performance and manage the risks, while operating in a more efficient and sustainable way. particularly enabling interoperability, innovation, and supply chain confidence. And standards can provide a means to legal compliance, promote consumer protection, reduce production costs, and improve international trade. We support development of standards at an international level, and as you can see here, our role involves supporting organisations such as ISO, CEN, CENELEC, ETSI, IEC, and ITU. But we are also able to help organisations by developing agile standards or PAS standards, publicly available specifications, where there is an industry need. Two such areas where BSI has led on developing such standards are for BIM and Smart Cities, and in both cases our work has also supported the development of ISO standards, demonstrating our thought leadership in supporting digital transformation. The benefits which standards bring to the AEC industry are significant. Looking at the economic benefits alone, independent research by CEBR has highlighted and quantified some of these benefits to the UK. In particular, 37.4% of UK productivity growth can be attributed to standards. And £8.2 billion is the estimated amount that standards contribute to the UK economy. But beyond just the economic benefits, standards contribute to many other impacts on the AEC industry, including increased health and safety, efficiency, collaboration, and sustainability, reduced waste and reduced impact on the environment, while supporting the process of innovation. The built environment sector is very comprehensive and broad, and to give you a better understanding of the breadth of our services to support the sector, you can see some of these areas listed on this slide, ranging from physical products to services to areas where we support the sector with digital transformation, supporting clients across the whole AEC industry. And I'm going to focus upon two areas to bring our work into context and illustrate how we have been leading globally on BIM and smart cities and communities. Firstly, BIM. Our work in this area has been extensive as we have shaped the world's first standards to support BIM implementation. Along the top of this slide, you can see the PAS standards which BSI developed, the PAS 1192 series, and these cover all aspects of BIM, from construction to asset management and including health and safety and information security. These PAS standards have been used globally to support clients, governments and organisations successfully implement BIM in a coordinated and controlled way to help bring about positive outcomes for the sector, such as reduced waste, increased efficiency, increased collaborative working with extensive supply chains, as just some examples. Our work in this area has also paved the way for new ISO standards to be developed to drive further global adoption of BIM, and these can be seen along the bottom of the slide. In January last year, we saw the first of these ISO standards for design and construction launched, and we are about to see the launch of the new ISO standard for information security, ISO 19650-5. You can see details of this launch on the BSI website. We also expect later in the year to see ISO 19650-3 for asset management also launched, completing the suite of ISO standards. Moving on to the second topic, smart cities and communities, which has followed a very similar path in that BSI has led the development of a series of PAS standards to help organisations, city leaders and governments to develop smart city strategies, develop the processes to implement those strategic plans, and also the technical specifications to enable processes to deliver outcomes. On the right of the slide, you can see a table which illustrates the evolution of the PAS standards and how they have now become ISO standards. So for both BIM and smart cities and communities, we have been working extensively to help lead the way. And we have also been helping clients in China to help with successful implementation. And I'm going to illustrate some case studies to you shortly. But before I do, let us consider the wider context of digital transformation. Whilst we all understand the concept of a smart city or a smart building, in that it delivers improved experiences and efficiencies through the use of technology, what sits behind this concept to make it work? Well, it's essentially the convergence of three technologies. The first being the Internet of Things. Devices such as presence detectors, smart locks, smart lighting, smart motorways. And these are like the senses and the muscles interacting with the physical world. Secondly, high-speed communication systems, such as 5G and the next generation of Wi-Fi. And these are essentially the nervous system managing huge data flows and instructions across the smart ecosystem. And finally, artificial intelligence, the algorithms that can process massive volumes of data on an unprecedented scale, analyze, make decisions, and most importantly, constantly learn and improve. And this is the brain that controls the whole smart ecosystem. And just like our brain, it can comprise of many specialist parts, all contributing to the overall control process. So if we consider these technologies using this human analogy, we can consider that three areas to be the senses and muscles, the brain, and the nervous system of the digital world, all bound together by data across these three areas. And this is where standards are particularly critical and essential to ensure that the three elements work together in a coordinated and cohesive way. So moving on to some case studies of how we've been working with clients in the areas of BIM and smart communities. And firstly, we've worked extensively with the Wanda Group, where we were delighted to award Wanda with the first BIM kite mark in China. We then also worked extensively with their supply chain partners to ensure that we achieved synergy within the supply chain and a joined up process. Throughout the process of working with Wanda to achieve this kite mark, we looked at how they were using best practice in developing processes to successfully deliver projects using BIM. As you can see from this slide, we've been working in a similar way with organisations across the world. Here on the left-hand side, an example from the UK, Skanska. And we worked with Skanska to design and develop the BIM kite mark originally back in 2015 and have continued our journey of working closely with Skanska. In the middle of the slide, working with clients in Australia and particularly CIMIC, who were the first organisation to achieve the BIM kite mark in Australia. And then finally, looking at working with manufacturers, we were proud to work closely with Legrand, who were the first organisation to be awarded a BIM Objects kite mark. And my final case study is in the respect of something very new. And it's in relation to smart communities. And once again, we are proud to be working in partnership with Wanda to provide certification services for their next generation of Wanda Plaza, working with them closely over the course of this year and throughout the construction phase of the new Dongba Plaza to award another world's first. So to summarise, BSI has been supporting the AEC industry for many years and decades. We are at the forefront in many aspects of digital transformation, providing thought leadership, standards creation, training, testing, assessment, certification, advisory and consultancy services. So before I hand over to Paulo, a final thought. Innovation is only set to accelerate, and the AEC industry is long overdue this acceleration. The COVID situation this year is highly likely to fuel this acceleration further. And this is clearly explained in many of the industry reports we've been seeing over the past few months, including the recent McKinsey report, which examined the next normal in construction. So what was once imagery from science fiction has now become reality. The gap between fiction and fact is closing and closing at a fast rate. So thank you all for listening to my presentation. It's been my honor to join you, and I wish you all a successful event. I would now like to introduce my colleague, Paulo Lopes. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Andy, for introducing such great topics, standards, and development trends about digital construction. Ladies and gentlemen, dear guests, good morning. My name is Paulo Lopes. I'm the Director for Strategic Partnerships at BSI China, and I'm based in Beijing. I'm honored to be able to participate in this Smart Construction Innovation Summit and represent BSI China. I will now share BSI's work in China and discuss how we can help organizations to become more resilient and competitive in the digital construction here. As a long-standing international standards organization, BSI officially started business in China in 1995 and has always maintained an in-depth cooperation and interaction with the China National Standardization Management Committee to jointly promote the research, development, compilation, release, and application of both international and Chinese standards. As you can see in the pictures, in 2013, witnessed by Premier Li Keqiang and Prime Minister Cameron, BSI and SAC signed the Sino-British Standards Mutual Recognition Agreement and established a committee which is directly managed by the Sino-British Joint Economic and Trade Committee, focusing on technical cooperation and standard mutual recognition in the fields of smart cities, nuclear energy, and graphene. Up to now, it has established a complete mechanism for mutual recognition of Chinese and British standards and accomplished the recognition of 62 ISO standards. In June 2019, witnessed by Minister Kelly Tolhurst, the two sides signed the latest MOU enabling the deeper cooperation of China and the UK in the fields of standards. Over the years, BSI and SAC have closely explored cooperation opportunities to support the Belt and Road Initiative and China Standardization 2035 strategy. BSI will continue to cooperate with SAC to provide our support in utilizing more international standards in China and promoting Chinese standards to international markets as well. In the field of digital construction, with experience in BIM and Smart City International Standards, and as a key participant in the transformation of digital construction strategy in the UK, BSI has always been involved in the digital process of Chinese construction industry. In 2011, Mohammed issued the Construction Industry Information Development Outline. In the same year, the British government established the BIM Task Group and began to implement the Digital Build Britain policy. Within the following 5 years, BIM applications in China and the UK have entered a period of rapid development. In China, more and more government departments, property owners, design firms, and construction contractors have begun to adopt BIM and achieve great excellence. At the same time, BSI participated in the BIM standardization and successfully compiled the PAS 1192 series of BIM management standards to help governments achieve its goals. In 2015, Mohammed issued guidance on the application of BIM and issued a standard of application of BIM in 2016. In the same year, the British government announced the implementation of BIM Level 2 requirements. Both China and the UK have achieved outstanding results in the application of BIM. BSI is honored to have participated in the digitalization process in the construction industry in the UK and to witness the development and changes in China during that time. All this work was later converted to create the new ISO 19650. Through our experience, we hope to help more organizations to achieve their objective through BIM standards. The main business practice of BSI China consists of BIM and Smart City. Here, I will briefly introduce the practice standards, and business services. As a leader in these fields, we provide continuous and reliable improvements to the industry through our core strengths: standard formulation and implementation. The core standards for our BIM business are divided in two categories. First is the ISO 19650 that covers the entire life cycle of building. Second is the traditional management system standards, such as ISO 9001, Quality Management System, and ISO 55000, Asset Management System. Through the combination of these two series of standards, we hope to help companies establish a complete enterprise and project-level BIM management system in a more efficient way. Based on these practice standards, we have created a comprehensive BIM certification and training program to help companies benchmark against international standards. We provide evaluation, training, gap analysis, certification, and continuous improvement. We hope to bring quality assurance to stakeholders in the construction industry and improve the professional qualification of employees, help organizations develop best practice, and endorse the company through BSI BIM kite marks. When it comes to Smart City, as a core member of the ISO TC268, the Sustainable Development City and Community Standards Committee, BSI has successfully developed and released 23 standards to help cities and decision-making leaders use the concept of wisdom and resilience to plan, build, manage, and operate a city. One of the most important standards is the ISO 37100. This set of standards covers from strategic planning to management systems to technical implementation. It also includes a systematic indicator evaluation system for the assessment and inspection of cities and communities. And together, they form a comprehensive management framework for the application of smart cities. We have built a complete smart city and community professional service portfolio, such as training, smart city community certification to certify the planning, management, and practice of smart cities and issue a smart city kite mark certificate, performance evaluation of the entire city or community to find areas for improvements as well as solutions. We hope to help city leaders to use best practice strategies to improve the quality of the smart cities and communities and demonstrate to the world their quality through certification. For over a century, BSI has been championing what good looks like and shaping best practice to help organizations around the world embed excellence, build competence and capability for sustainable growth. Standards can help companies by doing the following: facilitate international trade, especially reducing technical barriers to trade, enable innovation, promote productivity, protect consumers, and also standards offer support to regulators. When it comes to the construction industry specifically, standards can help companies achieve improvements by helping enterprises improve their management and business capabilities. Endorsement of standardization may help Chinese companies obtain qualifications under the Belt and Road Initiative and demonstrate the level of BIM capabilities to the global markets. The strong history of BSI and as a founding ISO core member, we can help Chinese companies export technology and introduce best practice, as well as supporting the process to prepare new international standards. I would like to share some further insights. Due to the pandemic today, we can only meet with you through video recording. In the future, leaders in the construction industry also need to pay attention to how their organizations respond to risks when facing major challenges and changing environments, and use sufficient resilience to resist interference and achieve sustainable development. Digital transformation is one way to improve resilience. In addition to that, we have identified 3 key domains that every organization must manage and control: operational resilience, supply chain resilience, and information resilience. And within each of these domains, there are 4 categories, including leadership, people, process, and products. BSI has always been committed to applying best practice guidelines and frameworks to help our customers shape their capabilities and create strong corporate and organizational resilience. In addition to BIM and Smart Cities, BSI also provides services in Internet of Things, cybersecurity, data governance, privacy protection, sustainable development, to continue to help organizations lead the way in this new world. And finally, to conclude, we really look forward to working with more Chinese companies to further deepen cooperation in the field transformation, standardization of the built environment, improvement of construction quality, and management efficiency, and jointly realize the goal to help organizations become more competitive, successful, and lead the path to a better world. I wish everyone to stay safe, and thank you very much for listening. Thank you.